6:48, 6:48. And I'm letting my glue gun warm up so I can finish these flowers I've been working on. But my super late postman, Oscar scratching and thumping the floor. The super late postman finally delivered my Temu stuff. So I thought I'd go through it with you. I know some of this is prizes that I've won, and then the rest of it, look at this, y'all. It's huge. Most of it's prizes that I've won. Hey, Gypsy. This is prizes that I've won off of Fishland and Farmland. Or Fishland. Farm. I can't remember which one. And I know there's supposed to be flower planters in here, but I can't remember what else. It's soft. And then I've got another bag. This took forever to get here. The other one literally took no time at all. So I thought I'd share this with y'all before I start working on crafts. Because everybody talks trash about Temu, but they've been great to me. I haven't had any problems. Customer service is great. If you Oh, I bought that for Mom. It finally came in. I bought it for my mom. This is a keychain that has got all the different types of, I can barely see what I'm doing, sewing stuff on there. It's got a old turtle machine, scissors, tape measure, and sewing machine itself. So I got that from Mama. That's one of the things that took forever to come in. I don't understand why it took forever to come in. I actually got us both one, and they split them in different orders, and hers took forever to come in. So I'll just take the next one. Yeah, I thought it's super cute. It's not super gigantic, so it won't want to be a cumbersome issue for her. Oh, I remember. Okay, so these are my Fishland or Farmland prizes. These people really deserve like a packing award. Buddy, I tell you, you can't get nothing out of these bags. I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up to craft. Okay, this is a cow print blanket that I wanted. Now, let's do the sniff test, because sometimes these things come with just horrible odors. Let's do the sniff test. No, it doesn't smell like anything. So that's a cow print blanket that I thought would be cute. Just if on a cold night or on the guest bed. If it was, if I had somebody over and it was super cold. Oh, it's something humming. My new refrigerator makes noises that I'm not familiar with yet, so it kind of wigs me out sometimes. Okay, I'm going to use this as my trash bag. Okay, this is supposed to be 2 bird planters that I don't know how big they are, but they look cute. And I just like planters and flowers and anything in my yard because I'm one of those people. I will literally put solar lights around anything. I am that person. And it's okay to be that person. Matter of fact, I have some charging on Mama's front porch that I haven't even put out yet. So I guess I really probably need to get down there and put those out. Okay, so these, oh, it requires assembly. But they sent me pictures, so I'm good. Oh, it looks fairly easily. Okay, let's see. There's 2 of them. And I'm on a peacock theme for my prizes because at the end of the house, we had to cut down 2 huge bushes that we planted when we first bought this place that had just got way too big. And so we had to cut them down. How do I know which is which? Oh, this is the bigger one. Okay. And, oh, the screws are already in there. I have to take them out. Are you kidding me? Man, I should have brought the drill in. So what I'm going to do is weed block it and then put down pea gravel, and I'm going to put down, Dad's going to keep me a couple of mineral tubs and over the winter, and I'm going to plant clematis vines, and I'm going to make a arch between them, and then I'm going to put all my peacock garden crud that I've won in them. This requires this may be more than my hands can handle today. This requires assembly. Now, okay, where's the nut that goes on the end? Oh, I think I just dropped it. I did. I just dropped it. So if anybody hasn't seen, I posted my Monjaro update. So if you haven't seen it, I have to drop the other one too. You can go and watch that. I have had a chill day because the weather's going to change this week. So I have to be really, 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 really nice to my body this week because the weather is really going to mess me up. Really going to mess me up. It'd be really cute if I can get it put together. That'd be the judgment thing. Now I will say that the planner material feels really good. This right here, this is the really good stuff. This is not the cheap stuff. This is the really good stuff. I'm surprised about that. And there's another one. There's a smaller one that goes with it, but I just have to put one together to see what it looks like because I've been waiting on these forever. So let's see. There's so many pieces. I don't know what goes to who. Okay, he's the bigger one, so I'm supposing he's the longer necked one. Does that make sense to y'all too? I like Temu, and I've got another bag that we'll go through here in just a second. Did she hear me? Hey, Sissy. She's probably going, where is she? I'm leaving right now. I'm moving out of this house. That's her cat. The cat doesn't like me. Well, she hasn't made peace with me yet. I think she does like me. These may be legs. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out how to put this thing together. But I have another bag of just normal goodies. I don't even remember what I bought, so we can go through that in just a minute. How do you get these suckers out of here? Oh. I guess it would help if you pulled from the end that didn't have bolts sticking out. Life lessons. Or as Abby would say, smart ways to live. Okay. Okay, and the big one has big feet. These are his big feet. I'm going to smack myself in the face with something here in a minute. I just know it. Okay, I get it. So I'm supposing I may have to go after a drill after all. Probably will. Okay, anyway, these are his feet. They're on a double bracket so he doesn't tip over, and it goes up like that. Hooks into his little butt and body. This is his tail. And then it goes up into his head. I'm going to have to go get a drill or screwdriver because I'm lazy. Anyway, they're all metal. And here are their two heads. One's big, one's little. And I think they're adorable. And they're actually going to be pretty doggone tall. I just need to get a drill because my fingers are not going to allow me to deal with tiny little screws. And he's going to go with my other peacock that I won in the peacock area of my garden next year. And this is the other peacock I won. And this sucker's heavy. He's like 2.5, 3 pounds. He's heavy. But he's got the feet too. You can bury him in mulch so they don't tip over. I think these things are so cute. And I mean, heck, they're free. If y'all don't know how to get this free stuff, I did a huge, let me make sure my glue gun's heating up. Yes. I did a huge craft order to save money because I needed to patch a few things to get done crafts-wise. And get my hair up my nose. And I did a huge craft order and got me a ton of points. And so I played the games and I had so many points that I wanted. So it's one of those things. Let's see, LED. Oh, this is cute. This was, I like little decorative lights. One thing that you'll find out about me is I love little decorative lights. I'm a weirdo. I fully understand it, but we normally go through like ice storms every few years or days without electricity. And so I was looking for stuff that I can buy those little batteries for or can charge in my Jeep so that when we have to live without any electricity, I can charge these up, put them through the house. So if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to take a lantern, a big lantern with you or a flashlight. We'll have censored lights that we can charge in the Jeep We can go out and plug them up in the Jeep and run the Jeep and charge them for a little while and then bring them back in, and they last a really long time. But I got some with just the batteries, and I got a giant pack of batteries. So this is a little, I just thought this was cute. I'm taking the battery slot out. This was just a tiny little lantern. I just thought it was cute, and it's actually really bright. And just thought it would be a cute little decorative piece, but actually, that little sucker's kind of bright, and I think it's adorable. I knew it was tiny. I read the measurements, but the detail in it was so cute, and I thought that is just so cute. I'm getting it. I think I lacked like $1.87 for free shipping, and I grabbed that. So it is what it is. Okay, this is my uncle's flower holder for the cemetery, and the stake is down in it, so it is just a black, very heavy-duty plastic. I have styrofoam that I'll cut and slide in it so that the flower arrangement that I made will go in it and hold. So I'll take this up when I finish my flowers for the saddle and put this on his grave and put his flowers in it. I do have styrofoam to cut for this. So I'm glad that came in. That came in super fast. Oh, here's another. Okay, listen, y'all. I have a little lantern fetish, okay? It is what it is. I'm sorry, it's cute. And we also, David's got a little sale at the South Memphis Elementary Park, and it goes to like 2 hours after dark coming up. So I'm going to take all my, I have a light issue. I'm going to take all my lights and go, hey, Sav. And I think these are so cute. They're just about this big, but they put off a lot of light. But I have some other lights that put off a lot of light. I just really think these are adorable, and they look really cute on my TV or on a shelf. And I like ambient lighting in the house at night. I don't like super obnoxious lighting. So, what the crap is that? Oh. Okay, so I won a set of these, and I won them, and it was one of those things that I didn't really pick. They gave me like 4 options, and this was the only option that was a light option, so I grabbed one. Now, these do run on batteries. They run on AA, but I'm going to be smart and get the rechargeable AA kit here very soon. Let me break it before I... Come on. Go together. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on. You can do it. Maybe it can't. Maybe I can't. Oh, got it. Okay, and I got one of these, and then I dropped something. And then I realized, shucks, you really need 2 or 3 of these to make a bunch. So I got another one because it really does take a couple 3 to make a bunch. I think I want 2 bunches in the other one. So I got another bunch because they're a little sparse. But let me tell you what, these suckers, they're like willow limbs. Let me tell you what, though, these little suckers, when they light up, they're bright. They're really bright. But they do run on batteries, which is not necessarily a bad thing if you stock up on batteries and you have an outage. Like I'm planning for bad winter. Just roll with me here. My body says this is going to be a horrible winter. So I'm planning for a bad winter, and I'm planning to have to go to the bathroom in the dark. So I'm buying a lot of lights. And so I'm just prepping y'all. Now, the last time we kind of ice storm, we went like 5 or 6 days without electricity. That was my last year that I was working, or next to last year. It was not fun. Might have been 2 years before. And I could not get to Knoxville. Heck, I couldn't get out of my driveway. They declared us a national disaster, and Trump flew in and tried to get us a bunch. Well, he did get us a bunch of aid, but I mean, it was, I can't put it together. But it was a genuine mess up here. And my manager called me, and he said, he lived in Knoxville. He said, I'm going to need you to come to Knoxville to prosecute this parole warrant. I said, that's not my parolee. Well, I know that the warrant needs to be prosecuted, and I'd like for you to do it. You live 15 minutes from the prison. You go prosecute the warrant. And he said, no, I really want you to. I said, I can't get out of my driveway. So we haven't had electricity in 4 days. I've not had a bath. I said, do you know that I'm sitting by a wood stove? I said, with a toboggan and underwear on my head to stay warm. I said, I just don't think you're going to get me to drive almost 2 hours to prosecute a warrant that you're like 12 minutes from. Well, my driveway's slick. Bubba, if your driveway's slick, do you know what you're asking me to do? It's probable death if I get out in this. Because it was like 10 degrees. And I said, dude, I can't. He said, well, I don't think I can prosecute this one. And I said, my goodness, how are we going to do this? So he actually went to the prison. They had to put him in the visitation bay, so he technically wasn't in the prison. These are earrings that I got. I think they were 87 cents. They're very pretty, and they're copper colored. And so he had to get put in the visitation bay. And so he wasn't technically in the prison, so he could still have his phone. The hearings official had to set up to where she could hear him. And I had to prosecute that warrant via the cell phone through my manager, who had been there for 20 goddamn years, but apparently couldn't prosecute this parole warrant, which was an easy peasy. I don't know what his problem was. But I sat by my wood stove with socks on my hand, underwear on my head, and a toboggan, and I prosecuted a parole warrant via the cell phone through my manager. That's how useless he was. So if you're watching this, you're useless. I hope he is watching this. But he wanted me to drive 3 hours because he was just so scared of his driveway. I was like, dude, I have to fall off the mountain. Okay, I got this because it has wire in this, and I'm sorry, but I think these are flipping cute. Now, you have to wear them kind of age appropriately, and you have to wear them with specific types of clothing. But is that not adorable? I'm sorry. And if you're really feeling spunky, you know that. I just love these. I just, probably need horns more than a bow. I just think this is cuter than I don't know what. Cuter than fuzz on a peach. I mean, it's just cute. Is that not cute? The one up, one down. I just think it's cute. But I have, y'all see me my hair when I have a lot of hair. And Gypsy can tell you I have a lot of hair right here. I have like the most heinous cowlick, and it's just thick hair, and I'm constantly looking for something to hold it back off my face. Maybe you're medicine for my soul. Hey, the accent does marvelous things. I'm just saying. Savannah. Maybe you're medication for my soul. You just never know. Let's see here. Now, what I've been doing is putting the base in for this. Move off, screw you, get rolled over. Move. My dog really fears me. He just listens, doesn't he? Shh. Okay, so I got something at the Dollar Tree and now I've become a patron of the Dollar Tree. I've been there twice in 2 weeks, even though I'd only ever been there twice before that in my whole life. Y'all, I'm breaking new ground. They have mesh, tube, basically it's tool. Hang on. See, I'm having one of those speeches. It's tool, but in tube formation. Blew my mind. Had to get it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I watched Crafty Kathy, and I thought it was cute. If you haven't watched Crafty Kathy, she was the inspiration behind this headband. And I just thought this was neater than beans, and I'm going to try. Look, it's already curled up for you, and it holds its shape really well. So I'm going to do something with it in my flower arrangement. I don't really know what yet. Oh, yeah, and they have apple cider Febreze on sale at the Dollar Tree for like $1. I'm sorry, $1.75. Go get you some. Because it's like $5 or $6 at Walmart. It was in the clearance bin. I was like, well, it's apple cider season, y'all. But it was in the clearance bin. Okay, then I got some smaller pumpkins. I got 2 bigger pumpkins with little gourds on them. I just thought those were cute. And sunflowers. I thought those were cute. Be a good focal point. I went with larger flowers for the saddle because I knew the saddle would be seen. It needs to be bigger than the side pillars on the graves. So I did that. And I got one orange, one yellow. I thought it was cute. I love the Dollar Tree. You never know what you're going to find. Christmas decor still tags. Oh, good grief. I did get some of the sparkly pumpkins just so that we would keep the theme going. Just to keep the theme going. Now listen, in order to make sure that I don't go crazy on this, I have Granny with me. She sits right here on my little workspace when I'm working because she will remind me to not get tacky. Well, she liked a little bit of tackiness, but not a whole lot. So I just kind of leave her there, and she reminds me to not go too crazy when I get to decorating. So I'm working here. You know, we're working on a budget. She taught me how to repurpose flowers and to clean flowers and to repaint flowers and stuff like that. And I never appreciated it until now. Granny, I appreciate you. I understand now why she did that. Hey, if it's still in date, honey, you take it and use it. There's people on YouTube that make their entire living out of dumpster diving, and I'm like, wow. Now, we don't really have a lot of dumpster. We have convenience centers, and we don't have a lot of dumpsters here. Maybe a few businesses do, but that's it. Okay, and I've got some of my huge, big, giant pine cones because that's fallish, and I thought that would be cute. So I'm going to blend some of those in. I've got leaves. I've got fall leaves, and I've got bigger leaves than what went on the side. And then I got these huge orange flowers. And then I got smaller ones to go with them. Watch me stab myself with a pumpkin. That would be great, wouldn't it? And then to match, because I had these little fillers, I've got some of these to use as fillers as well. Got some more. And then I've got some reindeer moss and some other stuff. So I had a pretty good little shopping spree in the Dollar Tree. I enjoyed it. It was fun. So what I have done is taken that saddle, cleaned it, washed it, and then the off-white flowers or white flowers I have left as a base. Not the pine cone off with the ferns, but I'm going. Hey, Angelique, how you doing? Well, I'm making a saddle for my granny and grandpa's grave. But, of course, it's going to be a little weird because it's made by me. So, I just went through all my Temu haul, and now I'm starting to work on this. Now, I have got this garland that is going to be wired to the base of the saddle to provide the evergreen. Boy, I'm going to have to vacuum after this. Ain't no way around it. Oh my goodness. Ain't no way around it. Okay, so I've got this garland that I'm going to have to fluff. Bless its heart. It's had a rough life. But it's going to provide the base over the ferns and around the white flowers. Then I'm going to put in all the filler flowers. Then I'm going to put in the larger flowers and the pine cones. And then I'm going to put the pumpkins where I want the pumpkins to go. This is going to take a lot of concentration, a whole bunch of zip ties, and Jesus helping. So I'm probably just going to show you what I'm doing and have to do it off camera because it's going to take this whole table to put this saddle up here and do this. But I will take a picture when I get it done and let you know what I come across. So I've got all of this that I've got to fluff and put on there. And then I have a bunch of burlap and some polka dotted burlap too if I decide I want to use it to make some ribbons to go through with the mesh tube mesh tube tulle. Gosh, which I think is adorable, by the way. So I don't really know. I've never made a gravestone saddle before, but that's never stopped me before. I'm sorry, I've got to get my hair behind this thing. That's never stopped me before. If I haven't done something, it never stopped me. So I'm gonna try to do this. Now, what I was supposed to do today was drill holes through this deer jaw and make a sun catcher. But did I do that? No, because my hands have been shaking. I was afraid that when I tried to drill, because it's a thin, that I would really make a mess. So I'm waiting to do that till tomorrow when my hands are less shaky. And I've got some little green ribbon if I need some accent ribbon and stuff like that. So we're good. And this is just basically going to fill in When I say I got big old pine cones, I'm out big old pine cones. These are from Georgia. I'm going to fill in that saddle, and I got a bow. And I got a butt ton of floral wire. So we're just going to fill in this saddle. And I left some of the white flowers and stuff in the base. And I'm going to, so I've got the ferns and the white flowers, which are gardenias and hydrangeas. And they're still, the hydrangeas are still kind of in season. And I may take a little antique paintbrush and go around the edges of the flowers. I haven't decided yet to make them look more fallish, like they're changing colors, because my hydrangeas turn a pinky brown after they bloom. So I may do that. Did she? Oh my goodness. She gonna have to warn us about this so we can video those and I can see them. I made the side flowers and my Uncle Dwayne's flowers, and then I thought, well, I've got enough crud and craft stuff that I can make the other as well. And it would just keep Mom from having to do something else, because she's just busy, and I don't want to run up down the mountain. And I'm literally a mile from the cemetery, so it's not like it's a hardship on me to go there. It's just right down the road. So I thought, well, I'll just do this and keep Mama from having to do that. Well, thank you. I am worried about my weight. I've been working on it for quite a while. I appreciate you trying to remind me. I don't know if you know, but that was a very kind thing you just did. Do you know that you did something kind instead of mean? You saw it as mean, but it was very, very kind, because I am very concerned about my weight. And, yep, ever since that boy attacked me with that axe and I had 5 leg surgeries, yep, all those surgeries and all those steroids and all those years of not walking well, it did a number on me. And I do worry about my weight, and that's why I'm working really hard to get it off of me. But I tell you what, when you pack my butt around, you can tell me about my weight. I don't think you're packing my butt around. Let's see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist, and I'm making these twice as thick on each side so that when I wire in, oh, leave it on here. It's a great learning experience. Leave that on here. It's a great learning experience. I've told people to watch out for the trolls. I mean, they come on here and they really try to be mean. But I mean, I have my master's in psychology, and what it is they have such little self-esteem about themselves that they go about their day, and they're probably very introverted, and they don't really relate to a lot of people, and they don't talk to a lot of people, and they don't have real relationships. Just they come on the internet at night and they try to have relationships, but because they're so ungrateful and they're so sociopathic against society because they feel damaged, they have to then make everyone else feel damaged. And so instead of helping themselves and having really, positive interactions with people, they go after negative interactions because it makes them feel powerful. But actually what it does is it weakens them, because every time you have a negative interaction, you reduce your ability to ever have a positive interaction with someone ever again. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it. It's the same way with kindness. So if you don't ever be kind to somebody, you forget how to be kind to somebody. And eventually you forget how to be kind to yourself. And then you find yourself in a really big dilemma. And usually a 5150 involuntary 30-day hold. But, I'm just a warning. That's just a warning, just to change your life and do good things, because hardships normally come from ourselves. And as I told my grown children when they got out in the real world, consequences rarely come lubricated. You better watch out, because it's going to hurt. But, a lot of people just think they have to tell everybody else their business. But it's just so they don't have to mind their own, because they can't. They're incapable of doing their own minding of their own business. But the more that these people, come on and try to hurt others, the less likely they are to have a positive life. And if they learn one thing from me, maybe they'll learn that. And, I hope everybody has a positive life. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to know their worth. But it takes education. And if we keep erasing comments and not talking about it, we ain't going to educate nobody. So leave them up there. I mean, it's sad that people are like that, but it's true. I mean, I counseled for 3 years. And, everyone that I saw that was antagonistic online was introverted, unhappy with themselves, and was in defense mode even online. And it's like, that's sad. That's sad that you are so defensive and so upset about yourself that you're upset with others for no reason. And it's a sad way to live, but a lot of people live that way. And a lot of people nitpick other people, and they nitpick other people because they feel nitpicked upon, and that's how they get control. So if they have no control in their home or their life, they'll nitpick other people. They'll nitpick anything. Anything at all. If you see somebody that nitpicks, it's because they have no control in their own life, and so they're trying to find that control somewhere else. And so if you have someone in your family that just nitpicks stupidity, it's just a constant nitpick, it's because they have no control in their own life. And those are the small things that they can control. And so they choose to control those things and feel better about themselves. But they're not really controlling anything because those things are so small and so inconsequential that it takes their focus off of the things that they should be worried about and that they could change to better themselves. And it's like focuses on somebody else's, 0.003% mistake instead of their 99.3% issue with themselves. So, the thing is the first person you need to deal with every day is the person in the mirror. And a lot of people never look in the mirror anymore, and that's why, trolls don't bother me. I mean, you have to be an idiot to tell somebody on Monjaro that she's fat. I kind of know that. That's why I'm on the medicine. But most of them don't know I'm on the medication because I was injured in the line of duty at work and have a neuromuscular disorder that is slowly killing me. They don't care about that. But those are the things that idiots, can't process. So, when you meet a troll, you're just meeting somebody that's a terribly unhappy soul. And some of them can learn and some of them can't. And you just kind of have to sift through them and go on. You just have to go on. Oh, people are jerks everywhere. Lord, I used to supervise about 400 of them. But, I never get anything said to my face because when people meet me, they understand that I have a good personality, have a good heart, and I have a pretty good, strong boundary line with people so that nobody ever says anything to my face. But, it's a coward. It's a coward's way out, and it's what they do with, so they don't have to deal with themselves. And, if that's how they're happy, it's sad, and it's going to ruin your life, but go for it, bud. I feel bad that somebody feels so bad about themselves. They have to make everyone else feel bad about, if you got up out of bed and your only mission was to make others feel bad because you feel bad, how many days would it take you to realize you were in a quagmire and doing damage to yourself? For me, it would take me probably about 2 days to realize I'm in the wrong path. I'm doing the wrong thing. But for others, it's how they live their life. And it's sad, but it is what it is. That's why we've got people in maximum security and in Gen Pop that are sitting there going, how did I end up here? It's because you did not pay attention to yourself. You were not looking at your own consequences and your own ramifications of your own behavior. You were choosing to look at someone else. So I'm doing a fall blend, Ben. Thank you for asking. I'm doing a fall blend. So I did little fall, like Christmas trees, because I want these to go through the whole holiday season. So I did them in fall first, and I've repeated the same flowers, but I just got bigger ones for the saddle so it has a better presence. Like I said, this is my first year of doing cemetery flowers, and I've done cemetery flowers, but I've never done a full saddle. So this is a full saddle, and I'm hoping that I can do my granny justice and not make it gaudy, although she'd probably just laugh and say, that's Liz. So, who is Smurf Cat? Is that like a thing? Is that like a bad word to say now? Is that like one of those things? I thought that said Donna Home Mufflers there for a minute, but it said Ben Miller. That's how blind I am, like my glasses. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm excited to see how it turns out too because I've never done one of these, but it's going to take me literally 10 years to collect this. And I'm going to have to vacuum after it occurs. But let me tell you what. So the other things I've been working on is, it's bear season in my neck of the woods. And I shared a hunting video of my brother's from years ago, back when we had the hunting lodge. If y'all, it's not for the faint of heart. If y'all want to go watch it, go watch it. But he also on his channel has his bear hunt in Canada that he did this year. And his shorts are funny. He's got some cute shorts on there. He's got the kids and some. But I've been doing little resin raccoon and bobcat tooth pendants. So I've had these out to resin them. I made some with dried flowers behind them. I've got those put up though. But I've been doing lots of arts and crafts. But I am taking these two deer jaws, and I am going to be making sun catchers out of these two. And then I have two larger ones. I'm thinking about hooking them together and weaving the inside and then doing the sun catchers in a fringe-like component on the outside. But these are so tiny, I'm going to do them separate. But the bigger ones, I would have a pretty decent weave in the middle, and I'm thinking about doing that. So this was what I was supposed to do today, but because of my neuromuscular disorder, I'm shaky. Like if you can't tell, I'm shaky. So I didn't want to handle the drill today. So there we go. But this is what I was supposed to do. But that's okay. I'll get to it. And I'm going to sew a little bit later because I got some raccoon hats and some beaver hats that I've got to sew. And it's, fixing to be trapping season. So David will be back out in the woods. And it's been bear season here. And he's helping people get their bear hides tanned through a place in Iowa. He's helping train and teach people how to flesh and get their hides done for a fee that's better than what is normally charged around here. So it's nice because bear season in my county in this area, even though we've had a good bear population for a long time, it's relatively new, and we only have archery days right now. But we have a big old black bear here, like ginormous, like 400 plus pounds on a good day, just on a normal day. So he's got a couple. He's helping people learn how to flesh and get prepared to be sent off for tanned. And, so they have to learn how to flesh. Well, a lot of them didn't even know how to cape out their own animal. That's sad. If you're hunting, you need to know how to cape out your own animal. But he's teaching them how to flesh and salt and pack them after they dry to send to the tannery. So it's been kind of nice. You finished sewing an apron. Oh, that's nice. Aprons, I've got a blue apron. I had a Jack Skellington apron, but I had a family member that had a sister-in-law that loved Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was a big girl apron. It was finally getting too big for me. Hallelujah. Some things are actually too big for me now. So I actually gave it to a friend whose sister-in-law, she's family, that her sister-in-law was a huge fan because I was like, here, my mother made me one, and I feel I have to wear mom's apron before I wear somebody else's, so I gave it to her to give it away, and she gifted it to her sister-in-law. I thought that was sweet of her. Oh my gosh, see? I loved mine, but when Mama made me an apron, it was just, when your mother makes you an apron, you have to wear your mother's apron. You don't have to wear your mother's apron. You don't wear somebody else's apron. So, that's what I did. I wore Mom's apron. I felt kind of obligated. So I put Mom's on. Now, here's my thing, is I'm going to have to sit this saddle in the middle of my table to do massive surgery to make this thing work because it's a hoss, and I've never done this before. So I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to probably do the deer jaws tomorrow. That may be a craft we can do together online tomorrow. And I know it's weird that we both had the same kind of apron. That's sweet, though. Mine was purple, a purple print with all the characters on it. It was cute. But the deer jaws, if my hands are more stable tomorrow, may be something we can do together. So I may, if I can get them drilled, or if I can get David to drill them before he goes to work, then that's a possibility that I can do that tomorrow evening with you all. And of course, when I sew, I'm hand sewing. It's not a whole lot that I can show you. It's just, unless you're sitting beside me, you can't tell what I'm doing. And I normally watch TV and kind of zone out when I hand sew. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm doing a lot of things where I'm seated today. I can talk. I swear I can. I'm doing a lot of stuff where I'm seated today because my legs and my hands have been like shaky where the weather's fixing to change. And so I've just not been stressing my body because the more I stress it, the worse it will react when the weather does change later this week. So I've been like, chill out. We're going to take this week easy and slow. And we're not going to have any flares or freakouts. So I've just been trying to be really good to myself this week. That's the plan anyway. It may not go that way. That's the plan. Oh, well, thank you, Angelique. I really enjoy getting on here and talking to y'all. I share my Temu stuff with you. I tell you what's crap and what's not. And I try to just craft with you. And sometimes we have like really huge, like theological discussions about existential things that you can't answer. Those are the days we have to roll our britches up because it gets pretty deep in here. But most days we just have a good conversation. I do have my master's in psychology, but I prefer to twang. I am an educated hillbilly, but I'm a retired parole officer and counselor. But ever since this neuromuscular disorder got me, I'm home. But I'm used to working 80 hours a week, and even on the bad body weeks, I have to do something to feel useful, or I just can't function. I have to feel useful. So this is how I'm feeling useful this week as I take it easier, because this weekend is the pumpkin festival and I really want to go to it. Now, when I say go to it, I go and sit. But I get to socialize and see people, And so I really want to get out because it's in my neck of the woods, and I really want to see a bunch of people that I've not seen in a while. And I can get some of my physical therapy steps in there as well. So, I can kind of keep an eye on myself, but it's enjoyable and I like to get out, but it's going to be so cold. I'm going to have to be careful because I don't want to go into flare. Holy crap. If I go into flare, it will not be good. So, and my body wanted to go into flare last week, but I literally willed it not to. So now I've got wire clippers around here somewhere, which is probably, yeah, there they are, which is probably something I'm going to have to use. I may have to go get bigger ones, but I've never made a saddle before, so I don't know how this is going to end up. When y'all see the pictures, y'all will be just as surprised as me, because I ain't done this before. But, not doing something before is, it can be remedied by doing something just once. So here we go. We're going to try it. I'm going to break this out, break this up and fluff it. And I'm going to use Gorilla Glue so the sucker never moves. Now the ends of these where I cut them, I'm going to curl them back because I don't want anybody to run up by the grave and get poked. Kids, it's like right at little level for little kids, and I don't want anybody to get poked. So the very ends where I cut them, I'm curling them back. And then I'm going to use the other end that's sharp to put it into the frog. And I may end up having to go get some more of this to fill it out if I don't think it looks just right. And that's okay. Dollar store and the hubby can run right to town. It's just 4 miles away. We'll just send Dave on a mission. We'll send him on a Dollar Tree mission. I don't think he's ever gone on a Dollar Tree mission for me. We'll see how long it takes him. It'll be a scavenger hunt for the male brain. I have confidence in my husband, though. Although if we're taking bets, I might place a bet against him just to be safe. I have confidence in my husband, though. Don't tell him I said that. He was trying to find yogurt the other day at the store. And I swear, I think I could have guided him into Scott County for an elk quicker than I could have guided him through Walmart for the yogurt. I was just like, how can you not see it? It's in the yogurt cooler. He's like, there's like 500 types of yogurt. I said, yeah, there's Greek yogurt. And I started naming. He goes, which one? What does it look like? And I said, I think for Halloween they put skeletons on the package and it's kind of a pink. He goes, pink, pink, pink. I said, a plush pink, a blush pink. I said, a southern blush, because that's what the winery down the road has, a southern blush that the label is that color. He goes, I see it. I see it. But he had looked for like 20 minutes before he called me, and I was like, bless his heart. But he did find it. I give him credit. He kept going until he found it. But it took him a while. I was about to lose hope. Well, it just started today. So it's open it just started yesterday. So it's open through November 1st. And as you complete, it's got a checklist, and it's got a piece of paper with questions about each cemetery in the county. And so I'm going to try to get with Kim, and we're going to go to them. And you answer the questions. So it's got stuff that you have to find. Like you have to sift through the cemetery and find, like, when did so-and-such die? What famous author is buried here? And, stuff like that. So if you hand it in and you get all your answers right, you get put in a drawing for $100. And I don't really care about the drawing. I just thought it was a really neat idea to have a cemetery scavenger hunt, because we have all of these historical cemeteries that nobody ever visits or knows anything about. And so, I think it's great that they're doing something to get people to go to the cemeteries. Obviously, it's going to make the caretakers take better care of the cemeteries, because they're being visited more often. And it's going to hopefully make a lot of positives for people too, and destigmatize some of our old cemeteries, like the one where Cal Logston's buried. I live on the Cumberland Plateau in Tennessee. I'm in deep Appalachia. I'm an hour from either interstate. You have to slide off the mountain before you can go anywhere. And when I say slide off the mountain, I mean slide off the mountain. I'm up on top on the plateau. So I'm like in a little pocket that stays colder than everywhere else, and it's like 2 months behind everything else, the growing season. It's just a weird little place. But I call it home. Although I'd hate to know what it calls me some days. So I don't really worry about people knowing where I am, because I've got murderers being paroled out of prison that I put there that know where I am. So, I mean, really, who am I going to worry about? I'm going to worry about the murderers. They already know where I live, so I'm not really worried about y'all. I'm prepped, locked, and loaded either way. I still do get notifications when my violent offenders get released. It's less of a shock now than it used to be, because now it's like, I mean, let's just say it. Felons are really lazy. I mean, most of them are just bad decision makers, and they're not bad people. They just make bad decisions. And that can be fixed. That can be remedied. As long as you're breathing, you can change who you are and better yourself. But felons are pretty lazy. So, you know. But I do appreciate the notices, and I do watch my back. But, I mean, it's just a normal way of life if you're ex-law enforcement, so you just kind of pay attention to everything. And you have a lot of security systems. But my blue heeler died. I really need to get, I think I really, if my fence was better, I'd bring Ruby home from my dad's cattle farm. I love that dog. Good Lord, I'm going to have to vacuum. You would not look at this. Garland, Christmas, holidays. I'm being rather rough with these though. But I would love to have Ruby here, but I'm afraid, because she is such a big hound, she's got a heart to go, but I'm afraid somebody would think she's mean. And if she got loose, I'm afraid they'd pop her, even though I'm fenced. So I haven't brought her up here, but she's such a sweetheart. And I'd love to have her, because she'll bail her out if anything moves. I'd love to have her here, but till then, I'll just pan my camera and watch my property. Which I got one of those, as long as I got Wi-Fi, I can check my land. It's really neat. Like, I don't care if I'm at McDonald's. If I got Wi-Fi, I can roll her in and check on my property. It's really neat. Good Lord have mercy. Hasn't it isn't this nasty. Gonna have to vacuum, sure. Okay, look at this goddamn pine cone. I'm telling you, I got ginormous pine cones to go on this thing, too. So, my glue gun is getting really, really, really hot. Okay. And I got some big leaves. I got some bigger leaves than the little leaves I put on the other one. So, I've got everything cut now. I am just not sure if I want to weave this garland in, or if I want to separately glue each flower, each leaf. So I may wait and make a decision on that after I've stuck the garland in. Okay, so I think this is, oh, you're in Clarksville. Oh, I had to go to Clarksville once for a bowling competition for my son. And the one day I was there was a tornado come over, and it was the weirdest. I was like in the Twilight Zone. I was standing outside of a hotel in downtown Clarksville. And the bowling alley had a storm cellar, which I thought was very weird. I was like, a bowling alley has a storm cellar. What does he do on his days off? Like, why do you... But anyway, I was standing in front of our hotel, and you could see the green rotation in the sky. And all the cars had pulled off the road and were like ducking and diving, trying to find a place to run in and hide. And going straight down the highway, just hitting a lick, was an Amish cart buggy with like 4 kids in the back and 2 people in the front. And that little gated horse is just a clicky-clacking on down the road. And they were riding into the storm. And I thought, well, them people know God. So I was like, you go on with your bad self. But it was that was like a really weird day, and they had a hard time having all of the bowling competitions because of all the tornadoes that kept dropping out of the sky. And I was like, "Where am I, Oz?" And I've paid attention to that ever since we had that, and that's been like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And I've paid attention to the storms, and Clarksville always catches the nasty storms. And I was like, man, I don't know if you could pay me to live near Clarksville. Although the Amish people seemed very comfortable just to getting it on down the road when there was a big green funnel cloud coming at them. But I know Jesus, but I'm not gonna like. I'm not gonna poke the bear and force him to save me from a tornado. He gave me the wherewithal to get away from the tornado, so I'm gonna use the wherewithal to get away from the tornado. But there's just a clickety clacking on down the road right toward it, and I thought, amen. That's all I thought. I was like, amen. Go with God. And they just are getting it. I don't know if I could do a New York winter. It just stays winter for so long. Now, I have a friend that lives in New York, and she's good with it. Of course, everything she needs is literally 5 minutes from her apartment, and I'm like, oh no. Like my specialists and stuff are 2 and 3 hour drives, like 4 and 5 hour round trips. And if you need something specific, like you need to replace something on your wood stove, or you need new pipe for your stove, or you need something specific for your home, you have to leave this county and drive at least 30, 45 minutes just to get to a store that might have what you need. Listen to this. I don't know if you heard that. That's how much crap. I'm putting it in the floor because I can sweep and vacuum it up easier than I can handle it with my hands on the table. But you have to drive. We have 2 grocery stores. And so it's just, like the last ice storm, people were putting, the people that had not lived here very long, good Lord, that is pathetic. The people that had not lived here very long were putting the signs at the end of the driveway saying, help starving families. And we're all like, you're supposed to put deer in the freezer and butcher about 1 to 2 calves a year and or bulls a year. And then you just make you a redneck Tupperware fridge out in the snow. And you put your meals in there and bring it in when you need it, But they didn't know how to do that. So they had left everything in their fridge when the power was out, but they had heated their home with like gas or wood stove that they had, and everything in the fridge is ruined. And I thought, but that whole outside is a refrigerator right now. Why wouldn't you just put it outside? And so they had run out of food, and I thought, oh no, around here you put up beans, you put up corn, you put up, I made a ton of pickles and pickle squash and put up mom and dad's corn, and you put up, a couple deer a year, and, you go and have for somebody on a beef cow, and, we normally trap and dispatch wild hogs for pig meat. And it's just like they hadn't acquired these skills yet. And so we had some families in some really dire consequences. And thank goodness for everyone around here that owns tractors, because they loaded up and took necessities to those people where no one else could get to them because power lines were down. And they, bless their hearts, as soon as the power lines, they announced they had shut them off to repair them, they went and took food to people and water to people because the people didn't understand. And I was like, it may take a while, but you can melt snow and boil it on your wood stove. Now, it may take a while, and you have to have some volume of snow, but if you keep putting that snow in there, eventually you will have enough water to keep you going. But, they were just not using their common sense at all. It was weird. Yeah, I don't think I could do a New York. I mean, it might be nice to have everything 5 minutes from your house, or to always have delivery. Like, we have no delivery in this town. We used to have a delivery boy, and he quit. And I was like, man, I miss him. Like, I would have adopted him. Like, I love him. He was great. And he was delivering through some of my worst health issues, and I appreciated him so much. I mean, he was a blessing. And he still keeps in touch with me. But we don't have delivery of any kind here. So while I've been going through all this health stuff, we've been having the food kits sent, but everything else we ate out of the garden this year, and I put the garden up. I just have to make my husband like lunches and stuff and for work. And that's about all we do. We eat pretty simple around here, but the garden is like, I still found a few tomatoes, but now after the frost and freeze this weekend, that'll be done. So I had 2 of them, but a deer ate one because I got turned into a babysitter for an injured fawn, and he decided he wanted to eat every tommy toe and every big boy tomato I had in my garden over there. And so I was left with the Rome tomatoes, which is not my favorite, but I dealt with it. He needed them more than I did. So there was no wildlife refuge that could take him. So the game warden told me just take care of him until he got healed and roamed off. And he finally, about 2 weeks ago, followed another pack of deer off. So I babysat a fawn all summer, just not getting them used to anybody, but just watching them, making sure the coyotes, nothing got to him. And we put a mineral lick out for him because the game warden told us to. And when he was off bedded down, we would throw a little bit of corn out. So as he grazed, he would find a little bit of grain and corn so it would fatten him up because he was still pretty young. He was just a little too young to be off mama's milk, but he made it. But he followed another pack of deer off, and so now he's where he needs to be. You can't grow anything. El Paso, well, Texas is not the most hospitable soil in the world, you know. It's pretty rough. I have a friend in Texas, and it's a pretty rough area. He doesn't have good soil. His yard barely grows. Like, he has trouble with his yard growing. Okay, it is getting hot in here. I'm not going to sing the rest of that song, even though it came right to my brain. I'm going to turn the AC back on. It's amazing that I'm using the air conditioner today, and here in a couple of days, I'll be freezing my honey off. But that's just the way it is up here. I'm going to turn the AC back on for a while, and I'm going to work on a couple of other things. I'm going to sweep up this mess I made first. And then when I get this done, which will probably be tomorrow, I've got the base of it done, but it's taken a while to put it all together. When I get it all done, I will take pictures and put it on the community page. And but if my hands are more stable tomorrow and I feel better, then I'll come back tomorrow and we'll do the deer jaw sun catchers. Because I really wanted to do those today, but my hands were not good enough to drill through this bone. And David couldn't get to it before he went to work. So we'll try to do these tomorrow. And I've got a lot of beads. I need to use some beads. I've got some beads that I can't use on dream catchers that my mom gave me. And I want to use them to make little sun catchers that people can put in their windows. I've seen a lot of other people do these. And I've done them out of like cow jaws and stuff, but I've never done them out of deer. So I'm anxious to see what people think of them. But we may do that tomorrow. My husband is a trapper and a tanner. So when I drag out dead animals, don't freak out. It's how we live up here. It's how we get through the winter and how we barter for meat. And it's just a way of life up here. So don't freak out. But I am was a wilderness woman. Now I'm domesticated, but I was quite the wilderness woman. Okay, 7:45. I've been with you for about an hour. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to turn the AC back on, clean up this huge mess I just made. So make sure that if you go by the Dollar Tree, they've got this on clearance. It's apple cider Febreze. This costs $5 or $6 at Walmart. They've got it on for just a couple bucks in the clearance bin at Dollar Tree. Go get you some. It's the apple cider, and I love anything that smells like apple. And they also are putting their larger fall, like $5 and $7 flowers, down to $3. So if you've got to make a last minute fall decoration or you want to put up for next year, go grab them because we're marking crap down. Now, I've got way too much crap to craft with, so I'm not trying to buy anything else. But just wanted to let you all know that. So, everybody, if you need something to put up, Dollar Tree's doing it now. And let's see, I should have a couple more Temu orders coming in because I won another game. And then where I've lost so much weight, none of my britches will stay up on me anymore. Even though everybody thinks I'm still so fat and they have to come into my... Yeah, I do Monjero updates because I'm losing weight and I want other people to be comfortable with it, with this journey that a lot of people are on. And these people come in and they're like, "You're a fat Sal." And I'm like, yeah, I'm on Monjero. They only really give that to fat people. It's like context clues, buddy. You got some noggin up there. I get really tickled with the trolls. They don't stay here very long, but I get really tickled with them. But don't ever fight a battle for me in this comment section because it's just a learning lesson. Leave the troll comments. Let somebody watch and see how I'll handle it. Maybe people will learn something. Maybe they'll learn something about themselves and their own behavior, and maybe they'll do better next time they have an option to be kind to somebody. But I am doing a weight loss journey because I gained so much weight during all the surgeries to repair my legs after I was injured at work. And I'm on a weight loss journey. And I'm dealing with a neuromuscular disorder that's kind of like MS. So I have ups and downs, but I try to always stay pretty active because y'all give me a push to keep doing my physical therapy and to keep interacting. So everybody, Have a good night. We'll plan on deer jaw jewelry or deer jaw sun catchers tomorrow. I couldn't make jewelry out of that if I wanted to. And hopefully this weekend I do get to attend the Pumpkin Festival and I do get to take more video for you. I've really enjoyed going to these events and sharing them with you, even though mostly what I do is sit and talk to people, but it's so great to meet people after being homebound for so long. So I'll try to give that one, a go and make sure to get a video of that for you as well. And it's not going to slow down until for 2 weeks for David, and then it will slow down just a little bit. So the next couple weeks, keep us in your prayers. And as the weather changes, think of me. I'll be thinking of y'all. We've got a lot of people in this group that have health issues like me. And the cold transition to fall is going to hurt us. It's going to smack me like a 2x4 right between the eyes. And it's going to hurt. But we'll get through it. Ooh, boiled peanuts. Oh, my gosh. Actually, peanuts are not that bad. I can eat some... Like I've been eating mostly almonds, but I can eat some of that. I've changed everything that I eat. I've changed everything. It's so strange to see how I eat now, but I'm doing good. And when my scale gets in, I'll get you to the percentage of what I've lost, but it's around 30 pounds. So I love boiled peanuts. I do. I love them. Matter of fact, we're supposed to go see Haley next month down in Georgia, and I thought we might try to find some. But yeah, a lot going on. Keep us in your prayers. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves. Love yourself. And don't let troubles get you down because they live under a bridge and they feed off negativity. I mean, they live under a bridge and they only show up to make a mess and then they float away. And to me, it's like a trip to the bathroom. They're like a commode. They show up, dump a little poo, and then they disappear. So, I don't think nothing of them. But it's a good learning process for other people. Gypsy, you have a good night. Tell Abby Dabby Doo I said hello and I love her. Y'all take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow for deer jaw crap. And then we'll see if we can make it to Saturday when this weather moves in to the Pumpkin Festival. Watch for a picture of this monstrosity I'm fixing to create and pray that Granny would approve. Love you guys. Night.